Good morning. I am back. For those of you who were watching at 10 a.m., I had some audio issues. So I've restarted everything and I'm hoping that it's fine. Now, okay, so I'm using two stamp sets from the new catalog. One is called Bright Borders. The other one is called Hugs for Love. So thank you for joining me this morning. Hopefully my viewers will come back. It's terrible when you have technical difficulties, but that seems to be the nature of Facebook and using streaming software. But we're good now. What's that saying, that British saying, whatever happens, you just carry on, right? All right, so in the catalog, if you turn to page 54, if you've got the catalog in front of you, we've got this Hugs for Love. So let me just switch my camera to my desktop here. And we will make that the focal point. Here we go. Okay, so here's the stamp set, and it comes with a coordinating punch. And when I was flipping through the catalog, I came across a second stamp set, just 2 pages forward, that has these frames that coordinate with that same punch. So I thought the 2 stamp sets would be great to have because then it gives you lots of options. Okay, so we'll get started on the card and then we'll talk more about these stamp sets and other ideas that you can use them with. Okay, so you've got lots of great greetings in both stamp sets, and you've got some decorative pieces as well that you can create some backgrounds on your cards. Like in the catalog, this one has created a beautiful background using these 2 hearts, or these 3 little heart images here. So that's kind of fun. And here's another great idea. You can have just punch out a bunch of the labels and punch them out of designer series paper as well to create a cute background. That's kind of a cool idea. Okay, so we're going to make 2 cards today, and I just wanted to do that to show you some options. So card number 1 is going to use a card base. This is Melon Mambo, because the papers I'm using are from the Toadstool set that's in the catalog, and the papers are a lot of fun. I love the colors. The embossing folder that I am using is called Starstruck. This you can find online. It doesn't appear in any catalogs at all. And then I've cut a piece of this paper. So here's the template. Let me show that to you. It's a really simple template that you can do lots with. So this is basically your card base here, and then the focal point is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. So you can have a simple card base, and then you could just have a focal point. So this could either just be a different colored piece of cardstock, or it could be white that you stamp on. Or if you wanted to kind of dress it up a bit more, you could create a layer on top of your card base. So you would have a layer here, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and then you could add this smaller piece on top. So you've got lots of different options. All right, so this is card number 1. So this is going to be a really, really simple card to put together. I'm just going to use my glue, and I'm just going to put this on the card base. So I'm just dabbing on a bit of glue. Keep in mind, you don't have to use a lot of glue when you're gluing, I guess you could say. You don't need to put it everywhere. I usually just put it on the edges so they don't curl up. And let's get that on the card base nice and straight. Okay, so there's that embossed piece. And then this piece I'm going to probably just glue flat, or I could put it on some dimensionals. Let's just decide on which border. Now this has got some kind of, it looks like a flower, but it's got a star in the middle of it. So they look like flowers when you first look at it, but it does have a star in the middle. So I think I'm going to use this frame here. Now, when you're using photopolymer stamps that are kind of really flimsy like this, because they're cut open in the middle, you really want to lie it flat face down on your desktop and then put the acrylic block on top. Don't try and put the stamp on top of the acrylic block because you might skew it a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And I think I'm going to do the frame in the Melon Mambo. We'll see what it looks like. Maybe black would be better. I'm not sure, but let's just try this. So I need a piece of white scrap paper. And let's do this. Now, at this point, you can decide, do you want the flowers top and bottom, or do you want them side to side? That's totally up to you how you want to do it. Now, but it's not about stamping, it's positioning it. You stamp it any way you want, and then you're going to rotate it on the card to position it. But the important thing is you want to look at the punch, because we always insert our cardstock from the top down, and it's got the points here. So you want to stamp in the same direction as the punch is really what I'm trying to say to you. So I'm going to stamp it here like that. Okay, so now you can see that the image is stamped in the same direction as the punch. So now I can insert the punch, and I always take my time making sure it's nicely positioned, and then punch. Look how nicely that punched out. Okay, now I'm going to grab my black memento ink, and I am going to ink up From Me to You and stamp that right in the middle. There you go. So there we have our simple greeting that is going to go in the middle of my card here. So that card is as simple as can be. I'm going to put on some dimensionals here. I like popping things up on my card. So we'll just put a few, and I like to put one in the middle. Okay, and we need to glue down this piece. Now, you don't have to center this. Again, when you first start working with a layout, you can do any number of things, however you want to do it. Whoops. And then I'm going to put this on here like that. So look how simple that card is. Really simple. And it would be fun to put some little gems on here. Now I want to point out these gorgeous, this is also a freebie from Celebration. These are beautiful, they're called purple adhesive backed sequins. And they coordinate with a lot of our pinks and purples in our color family. So I'm going to add a few little sequins on my card just to give it a bit of sparkle, I guess is what I'm looking for, the word I'm looking for. So let's see. I think I'm going to put a few of these on. Now there's different sizes here. each of the colors have, I might put that right smack in the middle of that flower. There we go. I'll put one here. These are iridescent. They're really, really pretty. There you go. So that card is done. Now, I also took out from one of the stamp sets these cute little flowers here. So if I were to do an inside of my card, I'm going to take my Melon Mambo again, and I'm just going to put some flowers in my card, put some at the top and some at the bottom. Okay, and then I would grab out another greeting. So from me to you, sending you a big hug. I think I'll do that. Sending you a big hug. And I think I'll change the color here. I'll do the black again. There we go. Okay, so that's my inside of my card. And then for the envelope, I would just put perhaps a border of these little flowers along the bottom of the card. So let me just clean up my tape runner here. We'll put this on the inside. So just to let you know, I did start this video at 10 o'clock, but it turned out that there was no sound. So I did a big intro at the beginning. And then I had people tell me I had no sound. So I had to start again. There you go. There's your first card. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. This time for card number 2. So I've chosen a different, this is Petunia Pop. Then I chose a piece of designer series paper, again from the Toadstool set, and the paper is a freebie out of the catalog. So lots of great coordinating products. Okay, now I'm going to use ribbon on this piece this time. So to tie ribbon around, I'm going to actually mount it on another piece of cardstock just to make it a little bit more solid. And I might even think about embossing it to give it some texture. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of glue on here and stick the DSP on top. It just helps me wrap my ribbon around a little bit easier. So let's just slide that into place. Looks like I might have to trim it a little bit. Yeah, I need to trim it a tiny bit. So let me grab my little guillotine trimmer. I'm going to trim off that little bit right there. Perfect. I love a little guillotine trimmer. To take off really, really thin strips, it just works a lot easier than a trimmer. Okay. So now let's just see what we're going to do with this. So I've got, again, the focal point, which is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And I think I'm going to do a design on here using some of these fun stamps. And then we'll decide whether we're going to emboss this or not. So let's use some of these hearts on here. So once I start using the stamps, I put them inside the stamp case. I don't keep them on this plastic sheet. Let's see. This is a really nice heart as well. And then I might do some flowers in between. Well, no, we're going to use this cute little cluster of hearts. That's very cute. And see if this will fit on a small block. Yes, it will. And then I'll need another block for this one. Okay, so I've got 3 different heart patterns to use plus the flowers. I'm not quite sure how much of a pattern we'll get on here with those, but we'll just play and see. So I'm just grabbing a scrap piece of paper here because you want to stamp over the edges when you're creating a pattern. So I'm going to start, and you always start with the biggest image. So with the biggest image, let's just do this in Petunia Pop. So I'm using Petunia Pop, Melon Mambo, and Fresh Freesia. So let's do this bigger one first. We'll do a couple of these. So I've got 3 different stamps and 3 different colors. So let's do this heart in Melon Mambo. And I'll do one more over here. Okay. Then let's take this little heart and do this in Fresh Freesia. So when you're stamping backgrounds, always start with the largest stamp because you can always fill in with smaller stamps. And I think, let's see. No, I think let's stick with more of these. I'm going to bring in another color here. Petunia Pop, I think. We'll just do a few more of these. Right, so there we've got a background happening. So that's going to go on top of this piece here. Okay, now first what I want to do is I'm going to tie some ribbon around here, but let's decide on, let's stick with the hearts, more hearts here on this one. And let's do this Yay So Happy For You stamp. That's a sweet greeting. Let's just take off this one. Sending you a big hug. Let's put this one on here. Okay. Now I need another piece of white cardstock. Okay, and let's do this frame here with the hearts on it. I think this will be really, it'll kind it, coordinates. Okay, so again, I'm mounting this on my block. Let's just take this one off with the points top to bottom. Okay. And let's do this in Melon Mambo. Okay, and we'll punch it out. Actually, we can put the greeting on the inside. And we're going to do greeting again in black, I think, because black really pops. Okay, there's our greeting. Let's punch it out now. So I'm really watching. I'm just squeezing the punch just a tiny bit so it holds the cardstock in place as I kind of move it around a little bit. And then I can punch it. So we'll put this on dimensionals again. Here they are. I'm using these little ones simply because I have so many packages of the little ones because I don't use them very often. And I'm just using them all up. Okay, so hang on a sec. Before I put that on, I need to decide what I'm going to do. I can leave the cardstock like this. Or I'm just watching comments. Christine, you're back. Yes, yes, I solved the problem. You know what it turned out to be? My phone was turned off. My volume was turned off. I thought my computer picked up my sound, but it's actually the phone. Okay, so I don't know if I should emboss it. I don't think I will, but I could emboss this piece. This would be kind of cool embossed, maybe. Let's try it. I always like to experiment with things. Let's put some of these little flowers on here. We'll emboss this piece and see. Oh, look at that. Stamping and embossing. That looks very cool, I think. Okay, let's grab our ribbon. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape. Well, I'm going to put tape along my two sides of my cardstock here, because then I can wrap the ribbon around. And I think we'll do it in the center. So I'm just going to wrap that around to the center. Hopefully that's the center. Looks pretty good. See, and then you can just wrap it, to the tape. And then let's just get my scissors out, cut that. Okay. And then I'm going to run tape runner over the ribbon just to secure that in place. Sometimes I use Scotch tape. And then I can put this on my card base now. And then I'm going to put this on. Whoops. I put this on. Now I'm going to move this over this time because I think I want a little bow here. So I'm going to put this on like this, and I'm going to do a little bow. Well, not really a bow. I think I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to pull my ribbon out here, and I'm going to slide it underneath. And I'm just going to grab that ribbon and tie a little knot like that. Let me grab my ribbon scissors. I'm going to trim that. And I can move it over a little bit if I want. Okay. I think I'm going to put this. No, I've already got something on dimension. I don't like to double up dimension because it's a little harder to mail. So I think I'll just some glue on here. And glue that on. And then I'll put my greeting on here. And let's add some sequins just to dress it up a bit. This time I will I'll grab some of these darker ones. So a large one down here and another small one here. Okay, some sequins. And then for the inside of the card, let's do an inside. So again, for the inside, I could just stamp some of these tiny little hearts in here. So I did those in, well, what I could do is I've got this piece from cutting my card, my DSP, I've got this piece in here. So I like to use it so I'm not wasting paper. So let's put this along the bottom. Whoops, that slid a little bit. And it went on crooked. Oh, well, it is what it is. You can only slide it around for so long. Okay, and let's grab, I did these in Fresh Freesia. These on, do them in Fresh Freesia. Yes, these are the sequins from Celebration, and they are phenomenal because they'll go on so many cards. You've got the whites, a pale pink. This looks like Fresh Freesia, and this looks like Berry Burst. Of course, they don't tell you what the colors are on here. No, they don't tell you what colors they are, but that's what I'm guessing they are, and they're very cute. Sequins are my favorite. They're simple to use. They're not bulky. I like that they've taken out the hole in the middle, because we used to have them with the hole in the middle because they were, you know, popular from sewing with sewers. But they decided they're good for card making too, so they took up the hole. All right, so there's the inside of our card. So, oh my goodness, here we go. It never ceases to amaze me how I can use something like my tape runner, put it down within 3 inches of where I'm working and then not find it. It's just weird. Okay, we've got our card done. I love bringing the design from the outside of the card to the inside of the card. All right, so there are your 2 cards using this simple template here. Card sketch number 7. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and you'll play around. These stamp sets are very versatile. I think they're going to serve me well. So I have to put them all back together again, but these are the 2 stamp sets here. Hugs for Love and Bright Borders. And remember that with every $75 that you spend, you get to earn some free products. So what did I use free today? I used the sequins that I earned for free. And I used the Designer Series paper. Where's the pack of paper here? Here it is. This is from the, coordinates with the toadstool, but on the other side, there's lots of other designs that you can use. So this was a freebie as well. The ribbon was a freebie. So I used 3 freebies since ordering from the spring catalog. Lots of fun. It's great to get something for free when you're spending money. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I apologize for the interruption this morning. I'm going to make a little note here to remember to turn up the volume on my phone. I turn my volume, I like to keep my phone on overnight, but I turn the volume way down and I always forget to turn it up during the day. I have people calling me and saying, were you home? You never answered your phone, and it's because I didn't hear it. So it's a bad habit that I have to correct. Anyway, thanks again for watching. We'll see you Thursday night for Case the Caddy. Bye for now.